The lies needed to stop. It was miraculous. Somehow the most dramatic and liberating moment of my life, all in one swing. The idea that when you're on a date, there's nothing off limits. Everything can and should be put on the table. You probably think I'm talking too much.
Actually, I wasn't really paying much mind at all.
What?
That was way douchier than I ever intended.
I asked you if we could put everything on the table, and you said...
Probably whatever would make you talk for the longest. Okay, let me start over.
I think I'll just go...
Wait. I'm sorry. There are bad days, and then there are bad days. Because of where I work, where I used to work, it's wisest to assume that each day will be the latter. But today was exceptionally rough. It was like a red-hot needle to my corneas.
What kind of person loses their job and still goes on a date?
One who thought it'd make me feel better, but honestly, there's so much happening in my skull right now. I must have missed 87% of what you said. It's not your fault. I think your mentality and pretty much everything else about you is fucking stellar. What I need right now is to go home and drink a lot in the shower. So, I'll call you and I'll text you because this needs to happen again. Just not at a time when the sweet release of death feels incredibly feasible and beautiful like it does right now.
When that happens, I might answer. You were a pretty good listener for someone who wasn't. You have a good night.
I'm not firing you.
How the hell?
Left me a key I never bothered to return. Also, I'm not firing you.
But you're gonna run the story.
Yeah.
Then I quit.
When shall the day come that we, as a society, stop giving a shit about the sexy new gossip the world has to offer? Oh, then again,
You're a journalist?
I've given this spiel before.
Not quite with that inflection. Someone left a folder for you on your desk.
Forget it. I'm taking off. Got a date to catch.
Guy who left it said it was kind of important.
Everything's important these days.
Yeah, well, he seemed kind of adamant. Sweaty, too, you know, like he ran here.
I'll take it with me and read it when I get home. What are you still doing here anyways?
I lock up when you lock up.
Oh, you are God's gift to mankind, Jackie. Why can't the world have more assistants like you?
Is this your way of telling me you're gonna
You'll
give
get
me
a raise when
a raise is earned? Forget I said anything.
Well...
Why the hell should I stay with a news agency that actively chooses to shatter the chances of making history?
It's not our job.
History! Josh,
Thought you had a date tonight.
we can't run this story.
Is this about the congresswoman?
You're damn right it's about the congresswoman.
Well...
We can't run this story.
You know, I thought I could get out of here before... You know what? No. No, we are not having this conversation right now.
Actually, I think you should sit down because we are absolutely having this conversation right now.
Don't front off with me, Will. Have you forgotten who you're speaking
My
to?
boss, who last I checked was a Democrat and has no business posting a trash piece about an abortion that happened nearly 3 decades ago.
Our job, whether you understand it or not, is to report the news. It is not our job to create history. It is our job
To
to...
report the news, yeah? And yet you have always gotten us where we needed to go by being fearless.
I've gotten us to where we need to be by knowing who to fear, and I terrify myself.
A woman's choice is not news. It's a tabloid. Voyeuristic, incredibly personal, mind you. A story that'll fade from the minds of the public in 2 weeks. This is our chance to be something better. A change to the horseshit that is the journalistic industry.
If we don't run it, somebody else will.
Let them. Allow us to be better.
We aren't going to change the world with one story.
It's a fucking start.
Rome wasn't built in a day.
No, but Carthage was taken in one.
Enough!
The only thing that used to frighten me was how many idiots that lacked any sense of conviction were currently ruling the world, but I could always count on you. I guess I thought you were smarter than...
Stop. Now, I have worked too hard to be handcuffed by idiots. So before anything else happens, I want you to use the comprehension skills that I know you have to extract the thought that I ever was one.
Only an idiot would shatter the chances Congresswoman Reynolds had.
You don't think that she went into this campaign knowing that the shackles of her past were never coming off?
I think she was doing a hell of a job keeping her business to herself.
A story.
Tabloid journalism.
It's a story.
It's tabloid journalism, and it is disgusting.
It's not our call to... The mainstream media...
I'm so done with the lectures.
The mainstream media is a place for abuse and corruption, and I have gone to great lengths to ensure that this paper is incredibly not. We don't obsess over who's sleeping with who or the last time that somebody went to church, but Congressman Reynolds having that abortion is news. A few years ago, I knew this guy who was running for a seat in the House of Representatives, and I had stumbled onto a rumor that he had abused a 16-year-old boy early in his political career. And he was a family friend, and he was black, and he was running for a seat in Mississippi.
So you let him run?
I confronted him after he had won. And for that, he had me politically blacklisted. And while he was in office, he continued his actions.
How many?
2. And when I went to confront him about it, he said, "Who's going to believe you?"
Jesus.
He would die of a heart attack 2 months later, but his damage was already done. Look, I know that you want to make a dent in the universe. You know that I know that, but the withholding, the covering up, that is not the way to go about it. You've got to put everything on the table, and the lies need to stop. And it has to be us. Because it's us. One way or another, I expect to see you at work tomorrow. You have a good night.
Are you good, boss?
I have a date to catch. Why did you go into journalism?
What?
Why? You know about the world. How brutal and harsh and wrong it is. Why would you ever want to go into journalism?
Well, you see, journalists don't present the world how it is anymore. This paper always has.
It was about the congresswoman.
What?
The source in D.C. It was about Congresswoman Reynolds.
I heard. It still kind of baffles me.
That the Republican candidate for the presidential race, born and raised in Stillwell, Oklahoma, had an abortion in the 80s?
Nothing about that baffles you?
Well, she also happened to be America's best chance at its first female president.
But this hindered that chance.
This decimated that chance.
Well, maybe that's a good thing.
What?
If Reynolds is as good as we say she is, then she can fight through it and earn the presidency, Will. Maybe it's a good thing that the story gets out.
Jackie, you're absolutely right. I have a date to catch. Let me make up this entire evening over brunch tomorrow morning.
Same place. 10:30.
I meant it, you know, when I said I'd quit when the story ran.
That's why I didn't let you. You were right. We're leaders. And I need you at the paper to do just that.
So when you left, you were...
Thinking it through. About how we make the choices others wish they could. One more thing. It took 7 days for the city of Carthage to fall.
Yeah, but in the moment, it seemed like a cool thing to say.
So, listen,
You'll see me at work first thing tomorrow afternoon.
I can't tell you how glad... Afternoon? Days tend to start earlier than that. Why the delay?
I have a date to catch. Okay, where were we? Putting everything on the table.